Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. It's Thursday night, and tonight I'm thrilled to pieces to have my dear friend, Dr. Michael Gross.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
He's right here beside me, people. This is awesome. We get to do this podcast seriously together and live. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Tia Knapp.
And I'm Dr. Michael Gross. Thank you. So nice to see you.
He has a powerful message. So we only do this for about 30 minutes or so, right?
Yes.
Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick introduction, and then um, we encourage people to leave comments. We'll get to the comments at the end of his message, and if you have questions at the end of his message as well. And I will put all the contact information in the comments in Facebook, and it'll also pop up on YouTube. Okay. So here we go. Dr. Michael Gross is a professional keynote speaker, energy transformational coach, entrepreneur, and the author of The Spiritual Primer, applying God's 12 transformational laws to reawaken your soul by reconnecting to God, the true source, to experience your true sources, love, joy, and happiness. Michael has been in this field of spiritual growth and teaching for over 30 years. And I don't want to script everything, but he's a phenomenal mentor of mine.
Thank you.
Totally, Michael, you have changed my life. He has totally changed my life. The way I handle the sudden surprises that pop up in my life today, he's truly a blessing. So he's been doing this, like I said, for over 30 years. He's a spiritual teacher, multidimensional healer, transformational coach, who's exceptionally skilled at all aspects of soul, oversoul, body, timing, life force energies, vibrations, frequencies, and so much more. He has a plethora of scholastic knowledge on top of it, so we won't go into that, but I highly encourage you.
Thank you.
I'm so blown away that we're here. Yeah. Anyway, our topic today is tracking your life, and I cannot wait to hear his wisdom on this topic. So I'm going to go ahead and just let Michael have the floor.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I know there's a little glare on my glasses. I'm trying to adjust my head. But anyway, so you pardon me. What I wanted to really discuss with you is tracking your life. And truly, what does that mean? What it really means is that you're going to, over the next several years, maybe even a little less, a little more, you're doing a life review. Well, what is a life review? Everything you've ever experienced. But this is a caveat. It's really to help you understand how you've created your life and what you've really done. And of course, what happens is that when we're going through that energy of a life review, we tend to look at all the negative things. And truly, we've all had negative experiences or done negative things in our life. But if we were to look at our total life, whatever the number of years you are, take a look and think about this. What percentage do you think were negative, were trials or tribulations, or you messed up? And the average person, out of a score of 1 to 100, all right, of negative things or percentage of things that were negative or maybe harmful or you feel guilty about, is less than 3%. However, what we do is make a big deal about this. You know, like perhaps you're sitting there and you got into an argument with a person, you hurt their feelings, or you're in a relationship and you dump the person and you just concentrate on that and feel guilty. But what about all the other positive things you've done in your life? You're here at this point listening to Tia and I because we're trying to open up a door for you to realize that you are a beautiful soul, that you've accomplished so much in your life and everything that has been so great and wonderful. And if you bother to think about that, I was working with a person earlier in another country, and they were saying to me, "Oh, I've done all these things," and they went on and on and on. And I went, "Yeah, but what about all the good things? You're 60 years old. What have you accomplished? What have you done?" And she started to think about that. "Oh, yes, I did a lot of good things." "Yes, you did." So this is what I'm talking about, tracking your life. And I'd like you, for those who are listening to this wonderful podcast, think about when we're through all the beautiful things you do. You know, what you think you create, what you create your experience. By now, you know, I keep talking about that. Thinking about the wonderful things you've accomplished, how you've helped someone, can be as simple as giving them a compliment. You know, years ago when we used to wear suits when we worked, and I was in Boston, and it's Filene's, which was something like Nordstrom's or a little higher quality. In those days, we wore silk ties, and I used to go to the tie counter, and they knew me after a while, and they'd select, "What do you got that'll go with the suit or whatever?" And they would help me select a tie. But I always go, "Wow, what a great smile! You're so sharp." "Yeah, really?" And she would smile, and that would make her day. So something simple as, "Thank you, you got a great smile. Thank you for helping me." Something so simple, but it changed the day for you or her or the person. How much time do we take to give a compliment? That's my dog. He's agreeing with me. How much time do we take to say, "Hey, you look nice. Thank you for helping me. You look great today. I like your smile," or whatever. Don't overdo it, but just be sincere, and you change the day. You can change the feelings. And look at our life right now, tracking your life. Today I was coming home from my office, and it took me about an hour and a half with the rush hour. And I was speeding at 10 to 12 miles an hour. Oh, joy. Thank goodness I had air conditioning because it was rather warm. But the point is that as I'm driving down, people were just driving like maniacs, and they'd cut you off and go 10 feet and put their brakes on. I'm going, "Well, you accomplished a lot, didn't you?" And the most beautiful thing too is because one of the things I do is let people cut in traffic. And today I had to cut into traffic. People just gave me a ton of room to cut into traffic. And I was reciprocal because others that wanted to cut into traffic, I let them. So you see, what comes around goes around. And what is occurring at this time is there is so much adversity, so much negativity. I talk to people in foreign countries, talk to people in this country, I talk to other people, and it's like negative, negative, negative. What is it, negative Nelly or something they use, that term? But why don't we spend more time to talk about things that are joyous? Why don't we listen on the radio or TV or read in the newspapers or the books something that's really beautiful? Well, as you know, in the old days when we did newspapers, and even now, if it bleeds, it leads. And what does that really mean? If it's negative, people are interested in it. But you hear a heroic story and it's like, nobody pays attention. But if it's dramatic and it's negative, yes. And, my mother used to say, you can't say anything good about a person, don't say anything at all.
My mom said the same thing.
Yeah, what words of wisdom. Think about that. So what I do is look at the press, or I see on YouTube, or I see it on TV, and the press is talking negative this, negative that person, this person, whatever it is. Can't we hear some stories about love and joy? Can't we hear some stories about happiness? That's why True Source wanted me to talk about tracking your life. Because if you watch TV or news, whatever you want to call it, negative, 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 and positive. Oh, so maybe 27 negative and 1 positive. Isn't that great? But wouldn't you like to walk away from the TV feeling happy, or YouTube, or talking to someone and just having fun? That's really important. And I get together with a dear friend of mine, actually 2 of them sometimes, and we go out to lunch and we talk about every little thing, and we joke around and we laugh. And it's so important because when we get up and walk away, we feel good. We feel good about the day. Sometimes we talk about our challenges, but we share them and we compliment each other. And we don't tell them what to do unless they ask. So many people are experts in every field. Oh, they know everything. And I remember in my different businesses, people would tell me how to run my business. It's a great idea. Listen, there's a great location. You want to put up $500,000 or $1 million. This location is great. Wall-to-wall people. Because, they go, "I'm busy. I'll see you later." And that's the way I would handle people that were experts in my field who know nothing about it. But then there's another part of us. And the other part of us is you meet successful people. Don't live in awe. Just ask them to mentor you. That's so beautiful because you see, we all like to share what we know. If they're young and they just got started, they don't want to share anything. Once you become joyous and happy and successful in what you're doing, then of course you don't mind sharing the information. Why? Because what comes around goes around. So here you are sharing information. giving them little hints how to be successful and what's going to happen to you, even though you are deemed to be successful, which you are. Someone else will turn around and make suggestions that's in the same field that'll help you grow. So here we are in a population of 8.5 billion people. Here we are, people struggling, trying to find food in some areas, trying to find their identity. And that's what's so important, because the next podcast that Tia and I are doing, we'll be talking about following your identity. But for now, you need to understand that there's no one else in control of your life. And that's most important. There are no victims unless you want to become a victim. Well, I don't want to become a victim. Of course not. Then why do you say that? Why do you put yourself in a position to be the victim? Why do you judge yourself and put yourself down? The most important thing in our life is called timing. What is timing? For you to be successful, you have to have certain ingredients. What are they? Love, joy, happiness, and passion, and belief in yourself. And having compassion and belief in yourself, and knowing that you desire to be successful. That will open the door. But the other caveat is my way or the highway. And lots of luck, everybody. Be open. Be open to everything. We all love to share information. I was talking about how we share information and how prejudiced we are at times. So if you eat at a certain restaurant, you're prejudiced. Great food, it's wonderful. Somebody goes there, I didn't think it was that good. And what happens? All steam comes out of you. You get angry and upset. But you have to respect that person. What their tastes are, maybe they're similar tastes, or maybe they want to be an expert. So when you share something, just say, I went to a great restaurant. You might be interested in it. Don't know if you like it or not, but I really enjoy it. So it's your choice. Or you buy a new car and you say, oh, my Bugatti is the best car ever. Or you listen, if I'm going to talk about a car, I'm always going to talk about a multi-million-dollar car, which I don't drive.
I'm sorry.
But there was a time where I really wanted to get, as I mentioned this before, a Rolex watch. And I thought, that's it. And I happened to go to the jeweler to replace a battery. And I talked to him, well, is Rolex any better? And his wife said, Michael, I have a Rolex. And she said, it keeps great time. It keeps growing in value. But every 2 years when I replace the battery, they have to clean it. It costs me $2,000 to $3,000.
Wow.
Wow, that much? Yeah. I'm going, Well, let's see. If I keep it for 5 years, I spend, let's say 6 years, I spent $6,000 to keep it clean. And if it goes up $6,000 or $7,000, I just broke even. So why would I want that? Any watch will tell you the time, what looks beautiful to you. That's all that really counts. And really, the other thing is that how do you carry yourself? How do you track your success? And that's what we need to take a look. Look at everything in your life that should be successful. Something minute, like you made great omelet, or you made a great dinner, or you helped somebody that was infirm and you helped him cross the street. It's the simple things that are so powerful that you overlook and see the beauty of it. That's so important. The other day, a friend of mine was using a walker, and he had a stroke. And, I take him out to lunch and with another friend of mine. And we were just helping him and talking to him and tell him how brave he is. He really felt good. What's the big deal? We just made him feel good. And, I will not mention his name, but he's world famous in the field he's in. And now it's like he's lost. He doesn't feel any of that. But we made him feel good and made him feel happy. It wasn't so much that his ego was in the way of the world fame, but he was incapacitated because he had a stroke and couldn't do what he used to do. We reminded him of all the successes they had and all the things that we have achieved. What are you doing in your life to make someone feel good, to make someone feel happy? What are you doing to open up a door, figuratively speaking, and saying, how can I help you? That's so important. I know when I meet souls, I try to remember when I'm, talking about my spiritual field. I go, how can I help you? So important. How can I help you? And they kind of look at me, and very seldom have I got the question, why are you asking that? And if they did, it's because, oh, we're in a relationship. We share information. So I want to know how I can help you, and maybe you can help me. Let's share information. Let's have some fun and joy and happiness. But how do you describe joy and happiness? Because that's another item I desire all of you to track. Notice I didn't say what. I said I desire. Why did I not say wanting or hoping or wishing? Because you never achieve the final result. You get the wanting, hoping, and wishing. Desire is a passionate word. It's something you desire to accomplish. So look at your life, look up and down like this. Where am I going? What direction am I going into? And how have I changed my life? I'm willing to bet most of you who are watching this, not all of you, have had several different jobs in your lifetime, maybe even more. And look how you've changed your career. But look at all the knowledge you've gained. That's so important. I was at a continuing education meeting, and one of them was a broker. He was talking about money, and he said, Michael, I made a lot of money. And he said, you know what? If you want to invest some money, I'm here. I'm not going to charge you a penny because I'm very successful, meaning him, and I want to help you to become successful. I said, wow, what a beautiful gift. Most people, how much money can I make off Michael? Does he have $1 million invest and I can get 5%, 3%, or whatever the dickens they get? But this was a beautiful soul. Therefore, if I ever desire to invest with him, I will call him. And I have another dear friend, and she does the same thing. How can I help you? It's so important for us to know, because we need to stop and think, how can we help others find love and joy and happiness? And as you're tracking your life, by just doing this, you are moving Mount Kilimanjaro. Yeah, about 1,000 feet. That's how important it is. We all want to be recognized. We all want to be appreciated. We all desire to be successful. But how do you measure success? Well, if you're tracking your life, think about success: money, status, being worshiped, being appreciated, not being judged, etc., etc., etc. So we stop for a minute and think about all that. You know the story of J.C. Penney? J.C. Penney opened up his first store. And he thanked God and he donated 90% of the profits to charity. Kept 10% for himself. Now, I don't know if that was the profits. I mean, he couldn't draw much of a salary. He had one little department store. But look what happened. Expanded, 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 expanded.
Wow.
Because right action and correct exchange. Right action from him was to donate 90% of the profits. Now, I don't know if it continued as it became a big conglomeration or not. I have no idea. But that little simple act of charity, of sharing, made him very successful. And Sam Walmart, he had concept, I'm going to keep it inexpensive. And he opened up in Benton, Arkansas, a little store. And look what happened. But I hear so many people say, well, the rich have to give, the rich have to give, the rich have to give. You know what? If you're successful and you're rich, it's up to your soul to guide you how much you so desire to share, whether it's 1%, 10%, or 90%, because you took the risks and you chose to be successful. And those who are successful, they do share their wealth in very many different ways. But you don't have to be rich to share the wealth. Share the wealth of your compassion. Share the wealth of your knowledge. Share the wealth of being there when someone is in crisis or depressed. Share the wealth of volunteering to help someone. The other day, my neighbor was putting in a new fence, and I had to put a fence in with my dog so he wouldn't run into their fence as they're building it. And a friend of mine came over with a vinyl little fence, and he said, "We're going to put this together," and it took us a whole 10 or 15 minutes, and we
Really?
cordoned off. That's it.
Wow.
So, I mean, he brought all the materials. What a wonderful gift he gave me. Because he was thoughtful. And you and I need to take the time to be more thoughtful. Think about what brings you joy and share your joy. Share your time. You know, it's not about getting money, which is nice to share, don't misunderstand me. But the most precious, precious thing you can share is your time to help another person because you cannot put a price on it. When you make someone feel joyous or happy, how can you put a price? $1 trillion? Quadrillion? Yeah, I would say so. Because you went out of the way to give me or them a gift of time. That's what's so important. Because you see, on the spiritual path, giving the gift of time and love is priceless and cannot be measured financially. You were going to say something?
I was just going to say exactly. Time is so valuable because you can't get it back.
That's right.
Once you have, I mean, that moment I just said that sentence and is gone.
That's correct.
So when you're out there and you're being challenged by things, remember that. Remember that, time is precious. Make sure that what you say and what you do matters and makes a difference in a positive way.
You know, there's a cliche or a motivational thought that True Source gave me, and it's so important. The past predicts the present, and the present predicts the future. So whatever you're holding yourself back on, you're duplicating it in the present, and you will do it in the future. Whatever you're letting go from the past will change the present, and when you change the present, it changes the future. It's all up to you. It's always been up to you. What do you desire to accomplish? What makes your heart sing? And set aside money. You know, I've talked before about the founder of Apple. And, I read it again. And he said, $30 watch will tell the same time as a $300 watch. A $10,000 car will get you the same place as a $300,000 car. And he went on and on. Just remember that. Are you feeding your ego? Or are you making yourself joyous and happy? Remember I was talking about the Rolex watch and what it costs to maintain it? Forget it. This watch tells me the time. Probably was about $100, $125, maybe a little bit more, a little less. I've had it for 10 years. It's self-winding. I have to put batteries in it. It's perfect. And it suits me perfectly. So think about it. Think what makes your heart sing. Track your life. Compliment yourself. And what I would like all of you to do is to write down things that brought you joy in life. From when you can remember when you were a child to your present age. And then every month or every week, whatever suits you, read it and realizing that you are a beautiful soul and you have changed many lives. Because in your epitaph, people remember the beautiful things you have done. So with that, I want to close and talk about some other wonderful items. You have some questions.
I do. Why is it that we always have a tendency to beat ourselves up and put ourselves down and not give ourselves, that we don't give ourselves the feeling of self-worth, I guess is what I'm saying.
Perfect. That's a great question. Well, one of the things we learn, or items, is that what's the first word? No, don't, no, don't, no, don't, no. And so when we don't get complimented, we don't feel that we are appreciated. What happens? You become negative and you take a little molehill. Oh my God, I'm going to be criticized again. I'm going to be reprimanded. Oh, I messed up. In the old days, they used to have a child, you saw pictures when they messed up, they put a dunce cap on them, or things like that would happen. I had a teacher in geometry, she would just rip you apart. It was unbelievable. And I will tell you, she did that. One day I forgot to do the homework and she ripped me apart. I was so embarrassed. Well, in New York State, they have the Regents exam. That year, 55 was passing. I got 40. So I had to go to summer school. Went to summer school. I had a wonderful teacher. And I took again the final exam, 98. What a difference.
Wow.
I had self-worth. she tore me apart. She thought by teaching intimidation, that would fire you up. Well, maybe it works for some people, but it certainly didn't work with me. Getting a 98 was incredible. So that 45 got erased and went helped me get into the college, so on and so forth. See, a little way something's presented, a little compliment. Remember, we are always judged. That's the problem. You're judged at school, you're judged by your family, you're judged by your relatives, you're judged at work. And does people take time to say, you're really great, you did wonderful? No, you messed up, you got this wrong, you got that wrong, blah, 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 blah. That's why we make mountains out of molehills when we're criticized or judged. And it starts at a young age. Because the past predicts the present predicts the future. Do we have some more questions?
Well, actually, I have some comments to share. Would that be all right?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to scroll here really quick because we've got some beautiful comments and some beautiful people that have joined us today. For those of you who came in a little bit late, I did put Michael's contact information in his Facebook group, our Facebook page, also in my Facebook page, and it's also up on YouTube, okay? And Michael, make sure while I'm looking for the questions, if you want to let them know what you offer.
Okay, so everyone, if you're new, I offer a 20-minute complimentary session, and sometimes it'll run a little longer. So prepare your questions. Q is given the information. So I'm old school. Please call me, all right? And tell me what time zone you're in, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. If you text me, the problem is I may not look at your text at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you don't want to hear from me at 2 o'clock in the morning, but you want to sleep, and I don't blame you. But it's so important for you to understand that. So call me, and if I don't, I usually put, I'll call you back, then send me a text.
Perfect.
And that, remember, and it goes in my subconscious, yeah, I got to call someone. Go ahead.
Perfect. You have some beautiful comments. Everybody's saying hi. They're happy that you're here. And Darshan was saying, when you were going in about giving compliments and stuff, he also added, tell them a joke or share a poem or just offer them a smile. It's amazing. Perfect. It's amazing, Darshan. Good point in the smile. And may I share this really quick story?
Sure.
I have a coworker that he's much younger than I am, okay? And he was new. He hasn't been there long. And he would walk by and kind of look down, and he was like a shopper, e-com shopper. And he was always busy looking and not necessarily watching where he was going. And one day I caught his eye and I gave him a smile from across the aisle. And ever since that one day that I gave him the smile, he smiles back at me now, and we've actually started talking.
Cool.
And yeah, you never know the power of a smile.
That's right.
You don't know how that person's day is going. And to have something positive, just something that simple, it's amazing. So tell a joke, share a poem, share a smile. And then Mary was saying the gift of time is precious. It's
yes,
priceless. So I don't know if there's anybody that has any questions, but why don't we carry on, because we don't want to run out of time.
I'd like to also share that in every Tuesday evening from 6:30 p.m. Pacific time to 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, it's called Soul Awakening. And it gives you the opportunity to call in. It's on freeconferencecall.com. So as I say, you can be in your pajamas, I wouldn't know. And then ask any question and hopefully I can answer it. Then I deliver a 10-minute little motivational message. Invite all of you. Invite your friends. It's on freeconferencecall.com. What's the charge? No charge. You may learn something new or you may remember something. And this is all about a very important period in this whole planet's life. It's the time of the gathering. People to awaken, because you are the solution to changing this planet, what's going on. And because you're the solution, you can make a difference. Do you give them that information?
Absolutely. That number on Tuesday night is 202-926-1059. And the access code, Michael?
125-446 pound. One more time.
Okay. 202-926-1059. And the code, Michael?
125-446 pound. Using that same code, same telephone number, the second Saturday of every month. we do what I call the mass consciousness healing. It goes from 9:55 a.m. Pacific time to 11:01 Pacific time. Really very powerful. And I encourage all of you to share it on the second Saturday of every month. I post it, so this to you. We need to make a difference. This planet needs love. Mother Earth needs love. The animals need to have love. I need love. We all do. So it's to you to share that one more time.
Absolutely. The number is 202-926-1059 and code Michael.
125-446-pound. Now here's something else we do. As I said, on Tuesday evening, we have what we call Soul Awakening. And I deliver a 10-minute motivational message. I guess we're approaching almost 400. And it starts at number 3 and goes up to almost 400. But we didn't list, or I didn't list the name of them. I forgot to, in true story. No, you didn't. You don't want to read 400 label. Well, I don't want to do that. So tell them, number 3 to 400, pick a number. Pick a number, any number. Remember that one, 1 to 10, 1 to 400, like 92. Pick 92. See what it's all about. And the feedback, they go, gosh, I just had to listen to that one. Share that information, how they can listen. Are you stuck in traffic? You had a fight or an argument with someone, or you're alone? Just get a hold of your phone and play it.
It's perfect. All you do on your phone is you dial 434-300-4170, and it's the same code, Michael.
125-446-pound. One more time, please.
Absolutely. 434-300-4170, and the code, Michael.
125-446-pound. And all of you, I want to share that with you. Take advantage of it. So then while you're listening, you can watch the replays on YouTube of our podcast that TU and I do. You will also see some limited, beautiful pictures, photograph, award-winning photographer, and a motivational thought, and you'll hear the verbalization behind it. So I encourage all of you to do that. And the final item I wish to talk about is this beautiful book, Healing the Holes in Your Soul by T.U. Knapp. And as I say, I like the guy that wrote the foreword.
I like the guy that wrote the foreword too. In fact, the guy who wrote the foreword, who's sitting right over here, is the one who encouraged me to write this book. This is kind of funky. He encouraged me to write this book, but everything that's happened in my life is thanks to the connection that I have with Michael and the fact that he wrote this book. This book is amazing. It's jam-packed full of such valuable information and incredible guidance and messages that I highly recommend you start with this book, because it was this book and this gentleman that helped me write the book he's holding. And for the rest of my life, I'm going to be incredibly grateful to everything that he's taught me. He has a complimentary consultation. You can put the book down, right?
One more thing, and that is, this is a story of rising like the phoenix, from the ashes to the phoenix, rebirth. Very powerful book, very motivational, and it will help you achieve a lot of joy because it's inspiration in your life. So I encourage all of you to read this. I want to thank all of you. You want to say something?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Michael woke up my soul one day, the first day that I met him, and it was the most amazing, amazing experience that I'll share with you at another time. But if it wasn't for that moment in time where my insides lit up with like a white light and so many phenomenal things happened, I've learned so many things in the few years that we've been together that I value this book as priceless. Okay, this is priceless. And in order for you to get it right now, you need to contact Michael or me. Okay, you can send us a direct message on Messenger, or you can contact us through one of the contact information that we gave you, because you can't get this on Amazon right now. Why don't you tell them the thing that they do get on Amazon?
There is a used book. I think it's $500 if you want to buy it, which whoever turned in the used book gets the $500. But this is only $29.95. And if you get it from me, you'll get a personal little note, something very, very inspirational, and that includes shipping and handling. $29.95.
That's for both of us. Okay, we'll check a little extra secret sauce in both of our books and little personal messages for both of you. I mean, from us to you.
Okay.
I've got this. I'm so glad I'm sitting next to him. Can you tell?
Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you to you.
You're welcome.
Everyone, just remember, you are unlimited. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, everyone. We love you.
We love you. Invite your friends and definitely watch the reruns and subscribe to Michael's YouTube channel. Okay. Okay. Good night.